Hi everyone, it's Lorrie. I am back with something else, just playing around a little today. I had a couple of ideas that I thought I might want to try, things for the girls or things for friends and family for Christmas. So today, this is sort of experimenting to see what might work. Sorry, had to get a sip of coffee. Oops, and I bumped the camera. Okay, this is just a transparent sticker sheet, like a holographic sticker sheet. There's no color to it. It's clear when you peel it off the backing, other than you can see, I think, really good up in here, especially all the like crystal shard kind of pattern that it's got to it. So we're gonna see what I can do. Gonna see if we can ink on this. Now the big question for me is going to be what's going to happen to the color once I seal it. So I will, add that on to the end of this video because I'm not sure. I know that with some of the holographic coasters that I've seen people do, you can't put a layer of resin over the holograph or it kills your holograph. So it just destroys all the color if you resin over top of it. So we'll see what happens to this, because this is not, at least to my understanding, this is not diffraction grading. I don't think that it will mess it up. This is made for printing on with a printer and making stickers out of and stuff. So I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm gonna do some inking on it anyway and see what happens. All right, so I've got Ranger inks, Gumball, Glacier, Laguna, and Dandelion. I tried to get some colors that may be a little similar to what's in the paper itself or the film itself. So we'll see. Plus these are colors that I know my granddaughter Maddie would love. So she may end up with this. She asks for every single thing that I do. I don't know if you can see over here, I did put just one drop down over here. Let me get it off all the way. Because I wanted to make sure that it would even spread good on this. That it wasn't going to just sort of sit there and not be able to get it wispy. And that the alcohol wouldn't damage the colors, the holographicness of it. So it did fine. You can't really see the holograph much once you put the color on. But, I just did it in this one little spot. But the ink and the alcohol did not damage it at all. Me rubbing it off, cleaning it, didn't damage it at all. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to do something like this, and then if you don't like what you do, you've got options for cleaning it off. All right, this is 99% isopropyl alcohol. I am not going to use brass today. I think it would be too much with this kind of holographic background, so not going with any metallic today, just going to do the ink colors, and hopefully we'll come up with a really pretty, rainbow of different colors here. I'm going to try to keep the colors fairly light, because I'm hoping if I keep the colors light enough that I can see, that I can see the holographic part through the colors. And you can see I'm already getting moisture beading. Because, of course, it's raining again today. Now, I do not want to use the heat setting on this because this seems like fairly thin film, so that's interesting. I have no idea what that's from. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. But I don't want to use the heat setting because I'm afraid it will damage this film. I actually had to tape it down because the way they shipped it, it was sort of curled over in a package that was too small for it. So I had to tape it down because it was, even after setting it out under stuff, it still wasn't flattened back out good. Anyway, I can't seem to get any time when it's not raining to be able to paint, so forgive my water beads. Now this is a little hard to move the inks on, I'm noticing. It does, the alcohol seems to want to dry up really quickly on this. So I may have a kind of a hard time kind of wisping this some. I don't know. We'll see. Might need to just use a little more alcohol. I don't know, but I don't want to spread it out too far yet. I had a lot of trouble with the ink wanting to do the little fingers and run out. It's kind of funny to me how some surfaces, for some reason, the ink is more likely to do that on some surfaces than others. Try some low heat for just a second there. Oops. Now this one, since this is a pink color, this one I'm more worried about with the water beading. One drop there. Seems like those are some of the worst shades. Anything that's got a red or, pink part of it. It seems to be some of the worst ones for getting the little moisture beads in them. And that's, my dryer's back on cool, by the way, for those of you all who were wondering. Even if this doesn't work out the way I had hoped, at least it gives you all something interesting to look at. If you're like me, I love anything, especially iridescent and holographic. Just love it. If I could figure out a good way to work paper like this into my pictures all the time, I probably would. I just love stuff like that. One thing I had thought about doing, not with this, well, not with this particular one, but with another one, doing another one similar to this, is putting it either inside or probably outside, around the outside of a glass candle holder. Because I think that would just give you some really cool colors coming through there in effect. We'll see. I may give that a try soon. Trying to dry up a few more moisture beads there. They're not wanting to dry. So just using the little, just very gentle tapping on it with the corner of this paper towel just to absorb up some of that moisture that's left there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start spreading. I keep wanting to to pick this paper up and move it. I know some of you are very glad that it's now taped down and I can't move it. Yes, I read those messages or the comments. Yeah, I know I drive some of you crazy with moving my paper around too much. But it just helps me to come at it from different angles. Thinking I may have to do most of this on a heat setting and just hope it doesn't cause this thin sticker sheet to warp too much. I think that's really going to help me in the long run. Get some of the, keep some of that moisture off and keep it drying up better. And this is just odd. I don't know what this is. What's causing these odd little lines of white in there? Like, well, it's not white, it's just where, you know, the ink is pushed away from it for some reason. Yeah, I'm struggling to use this on low. I am not. I'm so used to the high airflow on the cool setting that is very difficult for me to use this on the, like, the low heat setting. So those of you who think you can never get it, never be able to control it on the high setting, trust me, you can. You can get so used to it that you have trouble using a low setting. So I'm just kind of going back and forth now between cool and heat so that I can move it the way that I want it to move with the cool. Because if I use the high heat setting, you just constantly with the higher airflow, I know I'm going to end up warping this paper if I do that. Pretty much a guarantee. It's kind of odd that not every place seems to be doing these white or non-existent colors, where it seems like it's pushing the ink back away. Only just a couple of places that it's done that. trying to hold it back up off the paper a little bit when I have it on heat, just so it won't get quite so much of the heat on it. Be less likely to warp it, hopefully. Ugh. I kind of mixed into a not color that I wanted. Got too much of the orangish color from the pink and the yellow pushed down into the blue, which had blended with the yellow to make green. So now I have like green and orange blending together to make sort of a brownish color, which wasn't really the look that I wanted. Kind of losing my yellow. The yellow is just too much of it's blended in with the other colors. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. It's not really the color that I wanted it to be, but it doesn't look too bad. Shoot. Well, I can't find my little metal. My little plastic. Darn it. My little stick that I used is gone again. And there, that's where I stopped and was looking for my little stick. And now I see it, now that I'm not frantically digging for it anymore. I was going to try and get this to move over a part that it wasn't going over, but that happened. So I'm going to put another dot of blue in here because I feel like I've just lost pretty much all of the glacier. Anyway, it's just too much green and not enough blue in there. Wasn't sure I wanted to do this, but I didn't like that hard edge out there, so oh well. Oh well. That's gonna stay because if I keep blending this, I'm gonna end up not liking that at all. So I don't want to keep on blending that too much. Now, if you're doing like I am and keeping your dryer running, make sure you turn it away from your paper when you're putting down a little more alcohol there, because it will splatter all over the place. And you may think that's pretty self-explanatory, but trust me, I know from experience. When I first started out and wasn't being careful to make sure that I moved my heat or my air away, I've splattered alcohol all across a painting before. This is kind of turning into a little longer than I'd hoped it would be. I kind of wanted to make this a shorter video because I know that some of mine run on pretty long sometimes. But there are so many of you who have told me that you really prefer, you know, for me to show everything rather than to speed it up. So I'm just leaving it the way it is. And if it takes a long time, it just takes a long time. This is interesting. Now, this is beading right here. You know, like if you use a water-based marker on something like this and it'll kind of bead up. That's what's happened right here. And that's very interesting to me because it didn't happen up here. Well, yeah, it did, just a tiny bit. Huh, strange. I don't know, unless it's because of the moisture that is coming out with the ink and alcohol. Just the little moisture beads, if they have something to do with that. I'm still looking at this, trying to figure out if there's a specific color that's causing it to do that, but I can't really tell because there is absolutely none of that right in here and in here. But then there's places where it's definitely leaving a spot where you can tell that the ink got sort of pushed aside in little beads. Didn't want that hard edge out there, so trying to kind of get that off a little. got more ink on there than I want, so that's what that was about. I didn't mean to have, or I got a little too much alcohol in there, so I think I'm going to go back over this right here. You can see I splattered a little orange out there, but I'm going to put a little more of the gumball color in here because I wanted that side to come off with pink, not with that kind of orange, coral, salmon color. The color that the yellow and the pink created. I think that's actually pretty darn cool. I mean, there's some things that, you know, I wish it hadn't done, like some of this little beading right here. Although when I went back over this, it completely covered where it had done that kind of beading up over here. So, very interesting. Trying to decide whether to try and bring a little more yellow out right there. I don't want to get, like I said, you know, a big buildup, because I'm hoping that you'll still be able to see the little holographic shapes in there. Just put one drop. Yeah, food. I didn't want that big brown looking place in there. Now I gotta see if I can fix that. This is what happens when you start fixing. Gotta be careful not to fix it to death. Okay, that's bothering me. Now I'm wishing I just left that completely alone. That I do not like at all. So, another one of the great things about alcohol ink, if you don't like it, get rid of it. I'm going to get a little of that brownish color out of there. And hope that it doesn't come back quite so much. Although now I'm debating on like, what color to use. I think I'm going to use the gumball instead of putting yellow back over here. Because I'm going to end up, I hope, with more of a color like this rather than the brown that was in there. Ooh, it was more than I wanted. So I'm just trying to dry this up right now, and then I'll start trying to kind of blend it and wisp it in a little bit. I'm doing it again. I was trying to pick up my paper. So now I have to decide, do I want to put more yellow in over here now to blend with this to make it more coral? And the only reason I'm debating on that is because there's quite a heavy buildup of ink right there. And I don't, I don't want it to be super dark. So I'm just taking a little of that out. I just put a little alcohol on this. Little piece of paper towel. I'm going to take a little of that out so that it wouldn't be, oops, forgot the yellow. Oh, dang it. Oh man, I can't believe I did that. Things like that happen. But it still frustrates me when it does. Okay, so I am gonna, once again now that I put down my alcohol bottle, I am going to put just a little drop of the yellow in here to blend hopefully into sort of like that coral color. Just because I like that. I think that's really pretty. It adds another shade to it that wasn't in the ink colors that I picked out. See, this is when you can tell it's getting time to quit on one. See, now I've run it out through there. And this is where I'm afraid I'm going to turn it brown if I start messing with this too awful much. Oops. I'm just trying to steer it kind of away from the purple. I just don't really want to mix much of the purple and that sort of orange color together. All right, I'm leaving it alone. I mean, there's things I would like to go back in and fix, but I'm not fixing them now. I'm just having too much of a hard time with messing this up. So, and I'm not completely unhappy with it. There's just a few little jaggedy spots and some lighter places in here and there that I don't particularly wish were there. But I'm not going to mess with them. I'm going to leave them alone because they're not awful. It's just me being me and being very particular. Let's see if I can pull this loose here. As you can see, this has just got a paper backing on it that when I get ready to do something with it, I can peel off. Ugh. Yeah, if I don't bend it all to pieces. Alright, so as you can see, I'm really happy that you can still see some of that holographic look through the ink. I mean, especially for a preteen girl, I think that she is going to really, really like that. So now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Alright, so I'm going to stop this for right now. Well, for you all, I will be back in just a second because I'm going to show you what happens after I spray it with some Kamar varnish to see if it'll hold the ink on without damaging the holographic part. So I will be back in just a second, or in however many days it takes here for it to stop raining so I can go outside and do this. See you soon. Okay, good news, as you can see. I was able to get this sealed yesterday. Right now it just has 3 coats of the Kamar varnish on it, but that was enough for right now to let me know that it's not going to lose its holographicness, as you can see. And this is just super cool. Look at the, I mean, I'm just amazed at how much of the holographic parts that you can see through the inks. Oops, if I can get it. It's hard to get it at the right angle to where I'm sure you all can see what I mean. But anyway, I think this is really cool. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet, but it was a lot of fun to play with this and give it a try, especially since I like anything iridescent with holograph on it. So, I don't know, I may find something like a, oops, my tape's still on the back of it. I got to stick it back on the board so I can get the UV Archival on it. I may find something like a cylinder flower vase or something like that, and, you know, peel this off the backing and maybe wrap it around the flower vase. I don't know. I haven't figured out. The only thing if I do that is it's not going to look right probably where it meets. Well, I don't know. Actually, that won't be bad. Because I was thinking where it meets wasn't going to look right. But since there would be some clear spot in between, I think that might look okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's that one. And I hope you all enjoyed it. My little foray into something a little bit different there. So I'll be back again sometime soon. I love you all and have a great day.